Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello, welcome dear students for this online class of first PU Science. As in the last class we have discussed the meaning, the definition of maths and various usefulnesses of maths. Today in this video we will discuss about one single topic which is very helpful in your first PU maths syllabus for various chapters. For various chapters, this one topic will help you a lot to improve your skills, and this is just a refreshing of your memory. You have studied this topic already in detail in your previous classes. So, as a part of this bridge course, I am taking this topic of polynomials and the quadratic equations. Alright. So, first let us understand what is the meaning of an expression. Alright. So, let us understand what we mean by expression and what is the difference between an expression and equation. Alright. So, expression means it is of the form, let us say x plus 2y, or you can say whatever you want, let us say 3x square plus 4xy plus 5. Alright. So, this is example for expression. Alright. Now, when you come to the equation, there is a difference. So, what difference do you see in an expression and equation? Alright. So, when we come to equation, we equate two quantities. Alright. So, we equate two quantities. One quantity is equal to the other. We write it in the form of okay. So, this is one example of that. Alright. So, we are equating the left hand side with the right hand side. Alright. So, ಈ ಎರಡು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಕ್ವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೆದಾಗ ಅದೊಂದು ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Alright. Did you get the difference? Expression and equation. Alright. Now, when we come to the equations, there are different types of equations. Alright. Different types of equations. You call it polynomials. Alright. And in the polynomials, you know how to find the degree of a polynomial. So, first let me explain to you what is the meaning of degree of a polynomial. Alright. I write this polynomial, please note carefully. Alright. So, you have two variables, right, and what is the degree of this? Okay. Now, what is the meaning of degree? The highest power in this equation. What is the highest power? You have the power 1 here, right? So, you have the power 1. If I give you another example, alright, simple, okay, you have the power 1. Now, if I change the degree, alright, now what is the degree of this equation? Alright, so what is the meaning of degree? It is the highest power in the equation. So, what is the highest power? Here you have 1, but here you have the power 2. So, what is the highest power in this? 2. Therefore, the degree is 2. Now, moving onwards, we have okay. So, what is the degree of this equation? Alright. So, what is the equation? What is the degree of this equation? You have the degree 3. Okay. So, this is degree 3, and what do you call this kind of equation? You have a name for it, and that is quadratic equation, and this is called cubic equation. Alright. So, if you go forward, alright. So, some terms are not written, does not matter, but still this is equation of degree 4. Alright. This is a degree of equation 4, and what do you call it? You can call it biquadratic equation. Alright. Bi means 2, so double of the quadratic, you have the degree 4, and therefore, it is called biquadratic equation. Alright. So, this is about the degree of a polynomial and the names of each equation. Alright. You have a first degree 1. Alright. So, you have the linear, and this is degree 2, therefore, that is quadratic, and this is degree 3, therefore, it is called cubic, and this is degree 4, and it is called biquadratic. Alright. So, you have linear, quadratic, cubic, and biquadratic equations. Now, next, what do you mean by the solution of a equation? Alright. May it be linear, quadratic, cubic, or biquadratic. What is the solution of the equation, and how to find that solution? Okay. So, there are different names for these solutions. They call it zeros of the equation, or roots of the equation, or simply the solutions. Alright. So, either you say zeros, roots, or solutions, it means the same basically. Alright. They are just the different names of the same thing. Now, first, before going into the quadratic equation, let us try to solve a few linear but involving two variables. Alright. So, let us try to solve two variables equations, and let us find their roots. Alright. So, I am talking about a linear alright, dear students, linear equation in two variables. Alright. So, let us take one example and understand how can we solve this. Alright. So, I will give an example. So, the example is y plus x is equal to 3, and the next example that you have is y is equal to 4x minus 2. Next equation. Alright. So, this is a linear equation in two variables, and this is also a linear equation in two variables, degree 1 and degree 1 there, right. So, how can we solve this equation? There are totally 4 methods. Alright. So, the first method is called graphical method. Alright, dear students. So, this is called, first method is called graphical method. Alright. So, before going to the second method, what is the meaning of this graphical method and how to solve this linear equation? This equation annu graphical method alli yav reeti solve madodu anta nodona first. Sarina? So, I am sure you have learnt in your previous classes, alright, how to plot the graph of an equation, right. So, you have the y coordinate, you have the x coordinate. So, just we will get some values for this, alright. So, you have y plus x is equal to 3. So, what is y? 3 minus x, correct. So, if you have x values and y values, alright. So, if you take x, you can take anything, you can take 0 here, alright, if you want to begin with 0, or minus 2 you can start with. Okay. So, if you take minus 2 here, that will be 3 minus minus 2, 3 plus 2, that is 5. And then if you take minus 1 here, so if you take minus 1 here, that is 3 plus 1, that is 4, right. And if you take 0 here, so if you put 0 you get 3, and if you put 1 here, 3 minus 1, that is 2, and then if you take 2 here, and that would be 3 minus 2, which is 1, correct. And if you want y 0, let us say, if you want y 0, then you can go to minus 3, then it will be 0, correct, alright. So, I am 3, sorry. So, if you take 3 here, 3 minus 3, that would be 0. Similarly, of the second equation, let us get some points and then let us plot the graph of it, alright. So, you have y is equal to 4x minus 2, and then if you have x and y, start with minus 2 as usual. Okay. So, if you put minus 2 here, what do you get? Minus 8 minus 2. Okay. So, if you take minus 1, if you take minus 1 here, it is minus 4 minus 2 minus 6, and then if you are taking 0 here, you get minus 2, and if you are taking 1 here, that would be 4 minus 2, and if you are taking 2 here, that is 4 into 2, 8 minus 2, that is 6. You can go on like that, but these many values are enough for us to plot the graph and find the solutions, right. I will tell you how to get the solutions once we plot the graph. ಇವಾಗ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. You have lowest minus 10, right. So, you have highest 5, so you have x axis and y axis, right. So, I will break this up into like 2, 4 and 6, right. So, this is also minus 2, alright. So, this is the way I am breaking it up, and then you have 1, 2 is enough because we have taken the points like that. So, I am just taking 1 and 2 and 3, and here minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3, alright. So, in this graph let us plot the points first. So, find the point. What is the first point? When x is minus 2, y is 5. So, when x is minus 2, y is 5 around here, right. So, that is the first point, and the second point minus 1, 4. So, you have minus 1, 4, and then you have 0, and add 0 when x is 0, y is 3, correct. And then we have 1, 2. So, when x is 1, y is 2. So, you are getting a straight line here basically, alright. And then 2, you have 1 here, and then at 3 you have 0 here, alright. So, this is the line we are getting. So, alright. So, it goes on like that, alright. Next, does not matter, it is not accurate, just a rough graph. And next you have at minus 2, alright. So, at minus 2 you have minus 10, that is here, and then minus 1 you have minus 6, that is here, right. And then at 0 you have minus 2. So, at 0 you have minus 2 here, and at 1 you have 2 here, right. So, at 1 you have 2, and then at 2 you have 6 here, correct. So, you are getting a straight line here. Can you see that? Okay. Are you with me? Yes. So, If you have noticed this carefully, where do you get the point of intersection of two lines? Correct? So, this is the point where we have 1 comma 2. So, what is this value? 1, and that is x axis, and what is this value? That is 2 along the y axis. Correct? So, what is the solution of this linear equation? It is 1 comma 2. What is the meaning of that? X is equal to 1, y is equal to 2. So, did you understand this graphical method? We have just plotted the first found the points and then plotted the graph. We got the point of intersection of two lines. Where do you think the point of intersection is? At 1 comma 2, right? So, that is the point from where we get the solution of that system of linear equations. Alright. So, that is x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2. Did you understand this? Okay, I am sure you have understood this because it is that simple. Alright. So, if you did not understand, you can go back and again go through this video and check. Alright. Now, let us move on. So, what is the second method that we use here? Okay, the second method that we use Alright, so that is elimination method. Now, let us try to solve one problem using elimination method. So, in the elimination method, I am taking this example. You have 2x plus y is equal to 12, if I am not wrong, and 3x minus y is equal to minus 2. Alright. Okay. So, in this elimination method, what we try to do is we eliminate one variable. Okay, variable ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? x ಅಥವಾ y. Alright. So, ಈಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ನಾವು ಒಂದನ್ನು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡೋದು. Okay. So, we will try to eliminate by adding. So, what are we doing? We are adding. Okay. So, when we add, what happens is this will add up and become 5x, 2x plus 3x, 5x. This will cancel, is it not? Plus y and minus y when we are adding, and this is 12 minus 2. So, that is 10. Therefore, what is the value of x? 10 divided by 5, and therefore, it is 2. Okay. So, we got the value of x easily by elimination. Now, what we do? We substitute, yes. So, now we substitute this value in one of the equations, any one. Okay. So, I substitute x is equal to 2 in, let us say, 2x plus y is equal to 12. So, what do I get? Okay, I get 2. In place of x, I have to put 2 and plus y, that is equal to 12. Therefore, that is 4 and this is y. So, that is 12 and minus 4 and that is equal to 8. So, x is 2, y is 8, and what is this is called? This is called elimination method. Alright. Now, what is the next method that we have? The next method is substitution method. Okay. Substitution method. I am taking an example. Okay. The example being 4x 6y is equal to 10 and 2x minus 3y. Right. So, 3x 2x minus 3y is equal to 8. Now, using this example, I am going to explain what is the meaning of substitution method. This substitution method andre eno? Substitute ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಆದರೆ ಈ ಮೆಥಡಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಕೂಡ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ 2x, 8 plus 3y minus 3y becomes plus 3y, right? So what is x here? 8 plus 3y divided by 2. Correct? Okay. Now that is substituted here. ಅದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 4x ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ 8 + 3y divided by 2 plus 6y is equal to 10. Correct? Yes. Okay. So now simplify this. So you can cancel this out. So multiply this inside. You get 16 plus 6y plus 6y, that is equal to 0. Correct? Okay. Now add them, that is 12y. And this is minus 16. So y is equal to minus 16 by 12. So y is equal to minus 4 by 3. Okay. Now what do we do? Now we substitute this value here and we get the value x is equal to 8 plus 3 into minus 4 by 3 divided by 2, and you can cancel 3 here. So 8 minus 4 is 4, and hence that is 2. So I am sure you have understood this. I went little faster. Alright, so if you didn't understand, I will explain this again. Okay, so you have two equations. First, write what is x in terms of y, substitute that in place of x here, you get y. Okay, substitute that y here, you get x. As simple as that. Alright. Alright, now what is the next method that we see here? The fourth method. Alright, the first method is graphical, second is elimination, third is substitution. Now the fourth one is cross multiplication method. Alright. Alright, the cross multiplication method. Before I go into example, I am not going to example now. I will explain in general how to solve this equation. Alright, so I will take in general two equations. Alright, so I have taken two equations in terms of x and y. What I am trying to do, get the values of x and y. Alright, so this is a cross multiplication method. We have to write the coefficients in this way. Alright, first you have x, and then when you write x, I am writing these coefficients. Alright, so I am writing b1 and c1 here, and what are the coefficients here? b2 and c2, and then I have to cross multiply. And similarly when you write y, okay, so y, what is the coefficient? b1 and b2 there. So except b1 and b2 you do not write. What are the other coefficients? a1 and a2, c1 and c2. c1 c2 already ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಏನು ಬರಿತೀನಿ ನಾನು? ಇಲ್ಲಿ a1 ಅಂತ ಬರಿತೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ a2 ಅಂತ ಬರಿತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್. ದೆನ್ 1, ಓಕೆ, ದ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್, ನೋ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್, 1. ಆಲ್ರೈಟ್, ಸೊ a1 and a2 is already there, so that is a constant term. So what else do I need? b1 and b2. So did you understand? x a1 ಬರಿಬೇಡಿ, b1 ಮತ್ತು c1 ಬರೀರಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ x ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಬರಿಬೇಡಿ, b2 c2 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀರಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ y ಬರೆಯುವಾಗ ಈ ಎರಡನ್ನು ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬರೆಯುವಾಗ ಈ ಎರಡನ್ನು ಬರೀರಿ. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮಚ್? ನೌ ಹೌ ಟು ಗೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ x divided by b1 c2 minus B2 C1, that is equal to y divided by C1 A2 minus C2 A1, and that is equal to 1 divided by A1 B2 minus B1 A2 or A2 B1. So, understood so much? All right. Next, all right. So, next what we need to do is we need the values of x and y, no? So, first you take these two things, all right. Then we need x. So, what happens to this? ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So, x is equal to, you have b1 c2, I am writing this, okay. So, b1 c2 minus b2 c1 divided by, you have a1 b2 minus a2 b1. Similarly, what is y? What is y? You have to take these two things, all right. You need y, therefore take this to the other side and that will be multiplied, obviously, right. So, C1 A2 minus C2 A1 divided by A1 B2 minus A2 B1, all right. So, this is the formula. You do not have to remember the formula, you can go this way and get this even in the example, all right. So, you do not have to remember this formula and then substitute the numbers, you do not have to do that. You can go through these 2 steps or 3 steps and then find the answer, all right. Now, let us take the example. So, what is the example I am going to take? So, you have 2x 3y and plus 8 is equal to 0, and the second equation you have 4x plus 5y plus 14 is equal to 0, all right. So, this is the equation I have taken. Now, let us write in this way. So, in place of x, I mean below x, what do you write? You write 3 and 8 here, correct, and what do you write here? B2 and C2, you write 5 and 14, right. And then when you go to y, what do you take? You write 8 and 14 you have written already. So, you have to write 2 and then 4, and what is B1 and B2? 3 and 5, correct. Now, once you get this, either you can go for that directly or write this, all right. So, what do you write here? 3 into 14, you can directly multiply and write, otherwise you can write 3 into 14, okay. So, how much is that? Minus 5 into 8, correct. Now, below y you have to write 8 into 4 minus 14 into 2, and then below 1 2 into 5 minus 4 into 3, okay. So, now what is the value of x? So, 42 minus 40. So, let me simplify and write so that it is easy for us. So, x by 2 and then y by 4, and that is equal to minus 1 by 2, because this is 10 minus 12, that is minus 2, okay. Now, we need the value of x, therefore, x is equal to this 2 will come here, correct. So, minus half into 2, that is minus 1, and then what is the value of y? Bring this 4 this side, it will be multiplied obviously. So, minus half into 4, okay. So, that is minus 2. So, did you understand? Minus 1 and minus 2 is the solution. or what are the other names of that? You can call it zeros or the roots. Okay. So, these are the roots, these are the zeros, or these are the solutions of the linear equation in two variables. So, I am sure this much is clear to you. Okay. You have 4 methods: graphical, or you have elimination, or you have substitution, or the final method, that is cross multiplication method. Right. Now, let us go forward with equation of degree 2. What is it called? Obviously, it is called quadratic equation, and now let us understand how to solve a quadratic equation. Alright, we have again different methods here. So, I am going to explain to you 2 methods. Okay. What is a quadratic equation? First of all, any equation of degree 2, right? Okay. So, first let me take one example. 6x square minus x minus 2. Okay. So, I am taking this example. Now, what are the 2 methods that I am going to tell you? The first method is a factorization. Okay. So, obviously, you know this method, factorization, how to factorize them, how to break them into 2 products, I mean 2 factors. So, you have 6 x square minus 2. So, what is it? 6x square into minus 2, that is minus 12x square. You have to break them into 2, and then when you add, you should get minus x. Alright. So, you have minus 12 and you have to break and you have to get minus. So, what are the 2 things that you can do? You have minus 4x and 3x, correct? Do you get minus 12 and x square? Yes. And when you add them, do you get minus x? Yes. So, did you understand this factorization? I am sure you know this method. It is just a brush up class, just a bridge course, just to link your previous knowledge to the future knowledge that you are going to study. Okay. Now, how do you write this? 6x square minus 4x plus 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now, you have to take something common. So, what common do you take? You can take 2x, right. So, this will be 3x minus 2, right. Okay. And then you can take 1, and that is 3x minus 2, that is equal to 0. So, you can take now 3x minus 2 common. So, you get 2x plus 1, that is equal to 0, and then this is 0 or okay. So, how do you get this? See, when you have product of 2 things, if one thing is 0, the whole product is 0. So, either the first part is 0, first factor is 0, first product is 0, or the second, okay, second factor is 0. So, that is what we have written here. Now, what is the value of x? So, you can say 3x and this is 2, therefore, x is equal to 2 by 3, or so you have 2x, that is equal to minus 1, therefore, x is equal to minus half. Sarina? So, illi 3x minus 2 0 ide. So, minus 2 ee kade baruvaga plus 2 aitu. Adhe riti x is equal to 2 by 3 and x is equal to minus half. These are the 2 roots or the zeros or the solutions of a quadratic equation, and that is the first method. First method yavadu? Factorization. Alright. The second method that you have is completing the square. Okay. So, the second method is completing the square, and for this method I will explain to you how do you deal with this in general. So, let me take one example. Okay, let me take the general equation first and then the example, alright. So, I am talking about completing the square. So, when I complete the square, I need a plus b whole square or a minus b whole square here. So, obviously, I am getting a plus b whole square here because we have plus here, right. So, I have to divide by a because that is the coefficient that you have. Now, you have this in the form of a square and this is 2ab. So, do you see this 2ab? Let me clear it. So, if you have to write this in the form of 2ab, a is obviously here x and this you can write b by 2a, is it not? So, are they equal? Yes. And now, this is c by a. Okay. Now, I need to write this in the form of a plus b whole square. Therefore, this is a square and this is 2ab. Do you see b square here term? No, you do not see the term b square here. So, what we need to do, if you do not have it, add and subtract it in the same equation. So, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನನ್ನು add ಮತ್ತು subtract ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾವು. See, this is 2a and this is b term. So, I have to add and subtract the b square term. So, what is the square of this? This will be b square by 4a square and I have to subtract it. So, when I subtract it, I get this, right. And now, this can be written as x plus b by 2a the whole square, okay. And this I take to the other side. So, that will be b square by 4a square minus c by a. So, I am going to continue here. Now, if you are taking the square root, how does that look like? Correct? Okay. So, this is b square by 4a square minus c by a and we are taking plus or minus because this is square. Okay. So, you get both the answers when you square, alright, plus or minus. Now, what is x? So, if you are taking LCM 4a square, here you have only a, so multiply by 4a, so that is 4ac. Now, this is minus b by 2a plus or minus square root of and divided by, what is the square root of 4a square? See, square root applies to both numerator and denominator. So, if you want to split, you have to take the square root individually. So, I have written the square root for the numerator. So, what is the square root of 4a square? That is 2a and you can take whole divided by 2a also, right. So, this is the formula, okay, to solve the quadratic equation using completing the square method, okay. So, you do not have to do this all the time, just remember the formula to find the value of x. So, I am going to do one example, okay, and then we will stop it. Now, one example that I am going to take is 3x square minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay. So, using this example and the formula, how to solve it. So, you know what is a here 3, b minus 5 and c, that is 2. Now, what is the formula you have? Minus b plus or minus square root of, okay, you can write divided by 2a here or together. Now, what is minus b? 5 minus of minus 5, right. So, plus or minus square root of b square minus 5 whole square 25 and 4 and a and c. divided by 2 into 3. Okay. So, this is 5 plus or minus square root of 25 minus 4 into 3 12 minus 2 24 divided by 2 into 3, that is 6, right. Now, we are very close to the answer. How do we continue? You just subtract it, you get square root of 1. Okay. So, what is square root of 1? 1 itself. So, first I will take plus and next I will take minus. Did you understand that? Plus or minus, therefore, I am taking two things separately. So, this is 5 plus 1 6 divided by 6, you get 1, and this is 5 minus 1, that is 4 by 6 or 2 by 3, right. So, I am sure you have understood these methods. First, we dealt with solving linear equation in two variables, the four methods: graphical, elimination, substitution and cross multiplication. Next, we understood two methods of solving quadratic equation. First is factorization and second is completing the square method. Alright. So, just go through this video very carefully and understand these methods. So, thank you for watching. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.